Good evening and welcome to another episode of Crossroads. Dun, 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 dun. No, that's not a theme tune, is it? Anyway, I will work it out sometime. Good evening and welcome. It is 10 o'clock um, and we have Angela Johnson on. And that's right, yeah. And we're just waiting for her. She'll be on in a sec. In the meantime, guys, any questions or anything, don't forget to leave them in the message board for me. I would be so grateful. Hello, James. How are you? I hope you're well. Thank you very much for coming on. So, guys, don't forget if you've got any messages or anything or any questions to ask my guest, then please let me know. Thank you very much, James. Thanks for saying that I'm doing a good job. Thank you. You're very kind, James. Very kind. So, Angela Johnson, really good singer and piano player. She should be on in a minute. We're just waiting. Not long. Hopefully. So, won't be long now. She's just trying to click on the link. That's all you got to do. It's so easy. And if you want to come on the show, don't forget, we got spaces left for May. April, we're totally flat out in April now. But May, we still got dates, we share for May. At the moment, yeah, we got dates for May. So if you want to come on the show, please contact me and we'll get you on. It's gonna, a lot of people. We got loads and loads of guests coming your way this week and the next few months. So watch out for that. Okay. No, not yet. But we will get there. I will send another link. Oh, have you? Okay. May God bless you and give you your strength and peace. No, that's awesome. Okay. So James, when are you gonna come on here then, James? When are you gonna come on and have a chat with me about your organization? Um so yes, so we're just waiting and waiting. Not long. Yeah. All these days. Hi, Gary. How are you? So, anyway, so as I keep saying, if any of you, hello.
Sorry for the delay. I was troubleshooting my phone. Something made me sign back in, and it wasn't actually taking it. I'm not really sure. Here we are.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you doing?
I'm okay. Yeah, been busy. Been really busy.
That's
Keeping me,
excellent.
keeping me out of trouble. Still haven't had no haircut yet. Oh, but there you go.
I know we're all in lockdown. We went back into a lockdown just a couple of days ago for the next month, and I think that's pretty much happening all over the place right now still. So we'll get through it, right?
Yeah, yeah. Couple questions here I've got
Sure.
then for you. Angela, how long have you been playing the piano? And I know we've covered this before, but I've got a lot of people tonight on my website and other channels, and they keep asking me the same question. So,
Okay.
um, it's got how long have you been playing the piano, and is it your favorite instrument?
Okay. You want the years, or can I tell you the age I've started?
Well, you carry on. I know your story, but I thought I'll ask you.
I started playing when I was 3, and then I started lessons when I was 5. And I would say yes, piano was my favorite instrument. Piano and voice, they come very close together. I love the sound of the voice. That you can do a lot with emotion with the voice. So that's the natural instrument. Uh, I
Yeah,
think maybe a combination of the two of them. But I can sometimes just sit down and play the piano and be very very happy just with that. But when I hear the human voice, even if I'm not singing and I hear something beautiful, I'm really drawn to it. There's something very powerful in that. So I was kind of a pretty close call between the two of them.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it very difficult to learn the piano? If someone wants to kind of like is listening now and they're saying, that they want to play the piano, is it difficult?
I think it's difficult to reach a level where you have the freedom to just sit down and pull anything out of a hat. But if you want to sit down and play a simple song, you could learn it in one lesson, literally. But with just playing the left hand, a simple little thing, the left hand and the right hand, and maybe making 3 little changes and a little bit of melody going, you can literally learn a song in a lesson. And I've taught it. So it depends on how your perspective on it. When you hear, Ashkenazi, Vladimir Ashkenazi playing, you're like, well, how long will it take? That'll take a lifetime or several years. Or if you're like, well, I want to learn how to play Lean on Me. It's like, okay, well, here we go. Here are these chords. Do this. And I could literally show it to you. Or a few other fun songs. It might only be 3 chords. And some may not know what that is, but your left hand would just have this pattern of doing the same thing over and over in a simplistic way. And the right hand would just do a very simple melody and be like, oh, I can do this. I'm like, yeah, you see, you did a
Mm,
song. One lesson, you have one song. So to learn the piano depends on what you want to do. If you want to be a classical pianist, you're going to spend a lifetime perfecting it. If you want to play contemporary and just accompany yourself, in a couple of years, you can really get something going. But then after, the more that you learn, the more you're going to realize that you want to be better and better. So it'll turn into a lifestyle of continuing to learn. I'm still learning to play the piano, literally. I'm still learning how to sing, and yeah, you try to reach perfection all the time.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I've watched you now a few. Well, watched you a few times now, and I think, gosh, how do you remember all the chords, the songs, and everything? And I'm thinking, I won't be able to manage that.
Oh, yes, you could. You could. You know what it is? You have a tendency to move a certain way, you get used to it. So once you learn the structure and once your hands learn how to move in a certain motion, the tendencies that your hands will do across the keys, you'll find that these patterns are in all the songs anyway, depending on what
Right.
key you're in it. So over time, once you learn it, it's a language. So music is a language. Playing an instrument is a language. You will over time acquire these skills, and it'll be just like if you ever learned a second language, speaking a language, you learn it well, and if you start to dream in it, you start actually speaking in that language. And it's actually happened to me in Spanish, and I was like, wow, that's actually true. I think the piano is the same way. I think an instrument's the same way. You'll just eventually you'll have the tendencies where your hands will fall into place in what you want to do. Music
Mm.
has this structure, chords have structure, how form in music is. You will just eventually apply that to every song. And though these things will change and some are more difficult than others, as you continue and continue year after year, it gets simpler and simpler. And then your expectation becomes more and more difficult in that you actually want to be better all the time. So that's a funny thing about learning how to play music or a musical instrument. You want to attain a higher level, because once you get it, you're like, okay, next, what's the next obstacle to come over? And you wouldn't, if there was no need to have some kind of struggle or put some effort into it, you're probably going to get bored. I think we're
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like that. Yeah,
Are
you could
you
play the piano.
are you set up for your piano? Can you play us
I
a couple of songs
Yeah,
this week?
sure, I can. I can do that right now.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's do
fine.
that. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have, I'm not set up on, I'm using my phone right now. So I'll, maybe I'll bring my tripod over here. So this is my room here.
There you
Not sure
go.
what you
That's
can see.
Angela's wonderful studio, look, guys.
Yeah, I've got lots of lights going on in here. Yeah. So when you're streaming, playing live, if you don't have a really good lighting setup, then it's really going to be uh, shadowed. And I'll get
Why
my
have you
fiance
got?
to come hold the phone. I'm just
Why
going to
have you?
unplug this. Go ahead.
Yeah. Why have you got two pianos over there for? Not pianos, the
Okay. The
across the
keyboards.
way. Yeah, the keyboard.
Okay, I'm going to unmute some microphones here for a second. Ooh, I can really hear that. Okay, do I have these on? Yes, I do. So this is a keyboard. There's another one. So some of these will play rhythms, depending on what you decide to play. So I can get into that and have fun playing between the two of them. These ones I have connected to this computer over here, so I can bring them through with different sounds. And this one, of course, is mostly piano, but they work. I record with them. I'll do gigs with them. Here's my grand piano. I can mix it all through if I want to. So it really depends on what I want to be doing. So I can play double keyboard on them if I want to. Bring some rhythms through, bring it through some of my software. I'm running a number of computers here. There's a couple over here. They're not on right now, these two, but one of them I'm running my Pro Tools through and my Logic Pro, which may or may not mean anything to anyone. But if you're a musician, you'll know you can plug in other instruments to it and do some recordings. And then I have another computer here and another one in the kitchen, which you don't see right now. I usually bring it around. And I record with software, which you'd find in the same recording studio. So yeah, so I can play something for you. What I'll do is I'll get my fiance to hold my phone for me. If you give me just 1 second, Frank, would you mind coming down and holding the phone while I do some music? Okay, he's going to come right down. Yeah. So it's funny because today, normally I'm wearing a headset microphone when I'm performing, but today I set up my large microphone here that I usually do lead vocals on over in the corner there. You can see a little bit of
Yeah, you got all the
looks like
lights
an
on there. Yeah.
ISO Bluth. Yeah. So Frank's coming down, my fiance. He's going to hold the phone so that he can take it at a distance, and you can see me here singing. And I'll sing and play something for you if you like.
Yes, please. Yeah, but that'd be
Okay.
lovely.
Okay. So I'll take my earbuds out.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Oh, Frank's all right, and he's lovely.
You can go here or here, however you like.
Here's good.
Okay, thank you.
How you doing?
Hi, Frank. How are you?
I'm good.
I've
Hey,
got, I've got you soon, didn't I?
how was that?
I've got an interview with you soon.
Yeah, on the 22nd, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this way here or which way do I?
You're gonna go that way.
What?
You have to turn the other
This
way.
way.
You got it. I'm gonna put you exactly how it needs to be.
Yeah, because I can't see you.
Let's see.
That's
If you
fine.
go like
Brilliant.
that, you don't move it, you'll have a whole keyboard in.
Okay. So I
Yeah,
can't see
You
you.
got it. Hi. I'm hoping that this is gonna sound okay. I'm gonna play something a little bit simple here just to make sure the sound check works because I've never done this to StreamYard and you're not going through a board. So hopefully the sound is gonna work for you. We'll find out. It's better if I keep it simplistic enough. We were talking about how long it takes to learn the piano. You could do a song in a day.
Go on.
Just gonna put it down just a little bit. Something in the way she moves acts me like no other. Something in the way she leaves me. Don't want to leave her now. No, I believe now. Something in her smile, she knows me no other. Something in her style that shows me. Don't want to leave her now. No, I believe in how. Asking me will my love grow. I don't know. I don't know. Stick around and it may show. I don't know. I don't know. Asking me will my love grow. I don't know. I don't know. Stick around and it may show. I don't know. I don't know. Something in a way she knows. All I have to do is keep it good. Something in the things that she shows me. Don't want to leave her now. You know I believe in now. Asking me will my love grow. I don't know. I don't know. Stick around and it may show. I don't know. I don't know.
Brilliant. Well done.
That was fun.
That was
That's
really nice.
Thank
Really
you.
good.
I hope it translated okay. Sometimes, depending on the app that you're on, you have to be through the board, and I'm not. You're actually picking up the phone through the room. Anyway.
Yeah, no, it was fine. It was really good. When you kind of like when you're doing concerts and stuff, when you're kind of like performing concerts,
What
do
do I
you
perform?
yeah,
It depends on what it is. I'll do my own. Sometimes it depends. Sometimes if you're doing a show with other people, you can do contemporary. I can do one of my own if you'd like.
Yeah, go on then. Go on.
Okay. So what I do constantly, because my music is in two different markets, I'm in pop and in classical. So I have contemporary classical in my albums, which are right over here. There's 5 of them. So there's a double classical album. And then there's 3 pop ones. And there's a 4th one. I'm going to be releasing a single on it right now. There's one out on it right now, but the whole album has not been completed. So you're sitting there on my site with one single of that album so far. So you don't actually see that here right now. But what I'll do in a concert is I'll do a combination of an instrumental or something with vocal and piano. And of course, all my tracks are in there. So they're very orchestrated. So I mix them up. And of course, I have dance music sounding, I have pop. There's a real mix in my writing. So I'll mix them up. And how about I give you one? I'll give you one. It's called Dreamland Awakening. This one is an instrumental. You can move around if you want.
But I can't. I don't promise. I can't see what.
Well done.
That was called Dreamland Awakening.
That is brilliant. It's really good.
Thank you.
That was honestly, that was really good.
Thank you. I'm just going to turn you up so I can hear you. There we go.
How long did that take you to write?
How long did that take me to write? That took me, I'm just going to change my keys here for a second so I can play better on my speaks. That took me, I wrote it while I performed in cruise ships for a number of years. And so in the night, I would go to a dining room after everyone's sleeping, and I would, thank you.
Because I can't see.
Okay. And I would sit down and I would use either my cell phone or sometimes my iPod at the time with a little microphone on it. It had a stereo microphone connection to it. And I would sit down and I would just play and write, and I would free write. So how long it took would depend on what I was writing. I would say I went over that a number of times on a number of nights to make sure that what I wanted to do with it was right. But pretty much a great portion of it was there within the first night. Sometimes you got to work on stuff, right? So it really depends on the song. And that one, I probably needed to work on a middle a few different times. So it took a little while, I suppose, but the song was there in the front. I knew what I wanted. So I think there's a process when you're writing. You can have the song there, but then there's a certain thing you're doing with arrangement. You know, as you can see, I'm up and down the pianos, arpeggios, up and down. But if you go to a simple melody, it's quite simple in the front of it. So there's a building process. So there were a number of days that I kept coming back to it, making sure that what I was doing was flowing the way that I wanted to. I'll get my face away from the big mic. There we go. Now you can see me a little better. Yeah, it depends. Some songs, you know, they're just instant. Other ones, it's like you're pulling your teeth trying to finish them. So there's always a different time frame. And then, of course, when I'm recording them, I'm also recording all of the other instruments and I mix and master them. So sometimes it can take a number of months to get something done if I'm working on multiple songs, or I've got it done instantly in a couple of days or the day. You know, really depends.
Yeah. What are you mostly proud of with your music?
What am I most proud of?
Yeah.
Of my original material, you mean, or just in general?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That was a tough question, isn't it?
You know, actually, I think that I'm most proud of a song that I wrote for my father. There was a kind of a combination of either one that I wrote a love song you absolutely love, and then one that I wrote for my father before he passed away. And the fact that I pulled it off and that he loved it and that I captured him in it, I think I'm most proud of that. I think it's really hard to write for other people you're really, really close to, especially when there's circumstances involved where it's kind of one of their last requests of you before they leave here. So the fact that he loved it made me very, very proud that I succeeded with it.
Yeah. Joe wants to know, he's from Orlando, and he said, did you ever go to Orlando and play? And if you did, whereabouts?
I'm not on a ship right now. I have not been out. Let me see here. I don't go there unless I'm out of a ship because I'm from Canada. So for me to do a gig down there, I'd have to get a visa if it's not on a cruise ship. So if I ever do a tour down there, we're going to Orlando and then I'll let you know where I'm at.
Yeah.
No, if I was on a ship out of a port there, you'd be coming in every week, depending on your run, sometimes every 5 days. Yeah. And then even then, because I'm from a different country, there's these rules that you have to kind of follow. And to be able to go into a venue, I'd have to get the paperwork down on it to say, yeah, here's the tax on it. And it's difficult. There's a real process when you go to another country and you want to perform. You can't just sit yourself down. When you're on a cruise ship, of course, you get a landing permit. And it's for a crew member. And so when you're in and out of the country, you just walk around showing your ID, but you're not actually performing on the turf. You're back on the ship in international waters, right? So hopefully sometime in the future, I'll be in Orlando sometime and we can connect and I'll perform for you. Yeah, that would be.
Lucy wants to know, will you ever go to the UK at any
Oh,
time?
I would love to. Yes. If I ever go to the UK, we'll get together. Absolutely. I would love to. We'll go to the UK sometime.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I would love to tour. I'd love a world tour one day, doing all of my music, and I love to travel. So
you So
UK.
you would definitely come to the UK.
Oh yeah, yes, I would love to. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay. Um, got me thinking here now. Um, um, Maria wants to know, do you ever play any gospel songs?
Yes, I do. I do. Amazing Grace. How great thou art. Shall I sing one for you?
Um,
I have an original one that isn't a gospel song, but it's kind of a spiritual song for me as well.
yeah. Maria wants to know, by the way, she said, can you sing gospel songs, and also, do you have a faith and believe?
Oh yes, I believe in God. Yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yes, in Jesus Christ. Yes.
yeah, yeah. Don't, yeah, I do it as well, so I do. I go to,
I think it's important to have a base belief, and I think it's part of your compass, your moral compass. A
yeah.
lot of society was built on that. I don't want to go all religious on you because some people have different thoughts on that.
I don't mind because I'm a Christian anyway, so I've got
Okay.
my, this is why I set this, my site up, because it's Crossroads, and I did it for like mental health and help people to, to kind of like, well, it was mainly for people who were stuck in their homes at first, and so we can broadcast to them, get various people in, then it just kind of like expanded, and now it's gone like really big. We're doing well, so
I think that if you believe in God and Jesus Christ, I think it keeps you in balance
mm,
because there is a way in your life that you apply how you treat yourself and other people according to those beliefs.
mm,
And so whatever happens, you will always be walking at least in the correct direction in your path that you should be. That's what I think.
yeah, yeah. Do you want to hear something strange? I'll tell you what happened to me quickly. I
Okay.
never used to like going on here. I never used to like um coming on doing this live or anything live. And so one day my church minister said to me, I want you to come onto the Bible study and show your face. Okay. So I went on there, showed my face. Then ever since I've been doing this. So it's really helped me. You know what I mean?
And you help other people.
Yeah, yeah. Now I help other people. We just don't do this. We do like we got counselors on our site. We got all various subjects we cover, and we put people into rehabs. We get people help with alcohol, drugs. We do all that, and many people don't see that behind that.
Well, I think that what you're doing is changing people's lives
That's what we want to do.
because you can influence someone just in a conversation and in reflecting. If you can relate something, you can mirror it in your own life. So if you're doing things like what you're telling me there, then there's a huge amount of healing happening out there that behind the scenes you don't know anything about, but you played a role in, and good for you that you do that. I think right now, being in this pandemic, there's so much contact online for people to be able to, connect. But because there's a lot more connecting than there ever was, it's healing people. Even though you're locked up, sounds like a contradiction. There's so much happening, like what you're doing right now. You've been doing this for some time. But all of these other things are popping up online now. See, I'm doing Facebook Live concerts 2 a week. Music heals. There's some talk shows that are taking place, but people are relating to one another. And I think that there's more connecting because not only are we locked in, but also because we have all changed our lives. So we're listening differently. So I think that even though there's pain out there, there's a lot more healing happening because we're connected more
Yeah,
as a result, and we're trying to figure out what are we going to do. And so now everybody's talking globally. And, forget the news, forget all of the craziness that you see happening in the news, because some of that is actually technology letting you know that you're watching something, so they're going to send the same thing related to it back to you, and then you feel like you're being inundated by all of this news. But that's not really how we function, like you and I talking right now. I think most of the people are like this. They're talking, they're doing okay. And I think that people find a way. We're a year into it. You're going to find a way, find something to do, build something, and get through what's happening now. But good for you that you're doing this, because over time, many, many people will always remember you for what you've been creating. You're helping people, whether it's rehabilitation, whether it's religion, whether it's your story. Your story is very inspirational, very inspiring. And you have a book that's coming out, right?
Yeah. So, it's kind of like it's exciting. Things are happening at the moment. So, but it's been going on for since 2015 really, when we first started off. So, because we've been in the media a lot and everything. So,
I think that's excellent. I have a couple of friends that would probably really, really love to connect with you. That have similar. Well, they're not the same stories, but they have similar, overcoming things in their lives.
We always
can talk outside here.
Yeah, no, we can. No, we have like support groups online. We have Never Give Up. We've got a Facebook group. We've got a Be Kind page. I don't know if you come across that.
Be Kind page.
Yeah, we got Be Kind page. We got.
I think I just joined that. I got an invite for that. You got an invite for that.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, we got and we got a Never Give Up page. We're telling people, like, when they get down and depressed, they go through difficult times. We try to kind of like encourage them and to say never give up, because I went to that point in my life where because I was suicidal, see, and I was going to jump off a bridge.
What stopped you? I mean, I know what I read, what you gave to me, but I know but other people who are listening right now would not know.
What stopped me? What stopped me was because I think it was my faith. I think it was strange because many people don't believe what I say, and but I think what stopped me was God, because I was just my leg was all over the bars. So if I put my other leg over, I would have been gone. I would have been dead. And what happened was, it was so funny. I just saw something, the light come towards me, and it said, "Steve, I love you." And look at voice. Then next minute, somebody grabbing me quick and said, "No," and I had to go and get help, mental health and things like that. So I, and I've been there, and I can say that when you get down to your lowest, there's always a way out.
And I believe you. I think that we have an inner voice. I think that we have. I think that there can be an intervention. There can be a revelation. Another purpose in life, and I bet that changed you forever.
Oh yeah, it woke me up. I would. I'm not going to say that I'm a perfect guy. I'm not, but that day changed my life forever, because I got help. I went and got help. Between me and my wife, me and my wife wasn't getting on, so I had to go and get help about that. And it was other things as well. And my wife said, "Oh no, you won't get help. You're not going to last long." And I did it, and I came back, and
have you ever lost anyone to suicide?
Yes. Yeah.
Did you, previous to you wanting to commit suicide?
Yes. I've had I've had ropes around my neck. I wanted to stab myself. So, but the trouble is, we all get down to a low point in our lives. And, when things are getting bad in our lives, we kind of like, we think that we can't find a way out. We're just looking everywhere. And why I did this crossroads was because sometimes we come to a crossroads in our life and we don't know where to turn and we're stuck in the middle and we're in pain and everything and we don't know what to do. But
And
there
that's
is a
just
way
it.
out.
Yeah, and that's just it, is that anyone who wants to kill themselves is actually, they don't want to. It's a cry for help.
Correct. Yeah.
I'm very close to that as well. I lost my mother very young to suicide. And it's interesting on your end, you are the one with the pain who was walking the shoes of wanting to leave here. But when you're on the side where you lose someone, that's why I said you've lost someone to it. I don't know if I would call it a life-changing thing that happens, but I think your empathy changes for people. I think that you love people more when you lose people. I think
yeah, of course,
yeah.
of course.
And so, there's people lonely out there who think, what's the point? And look what's happened in my life and yada, 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 time to go. And who's going to miss me? But the truth is you'll be missed. You'll be missed. You'll be, and even stranger to stranger, right?
I just find it very difficult sometimes when there's people out there who are kind of like suffering in really bad ways, and they can't find a way out. And I just tell them one thing, I just say to them, look, can you imagine yourself being in a well, and all of a sudden you're stuck down the bottom of this well, and there is a way of, all you got to do is try to get out, but you can't get out. There's no way. And all of a sudden there's a rope that comes down. If you ask for it, and you kind of, and if we believe in ourselves more, I think we can get to a level where we can start healing ourselves and kind of move forward in our lives.
And be distracted so that you don't think too much. Sometimes we think too much. There's a lot of people who are alone, and get yourself out of that alone position, because sometimes you just need to rise up. Like when you say crawl out, get out of, like imagine you're in a well and there's a way out. Rise up, rise above, find something to distract yourself. So that you don't convince yourself that direction you're trying to head into is going to happen. And
you know what my dream is? I would love to write a song. Right?
You can write a song. You can. You know what? You can.
I can.
Yes, you can. Oh, sure, you can.
No.
There's a process to songwriting. You could start with lyrics if you wanted to. And you could make lyrics.
I've got the words, but I can't kind of like put it into music.
I bet you can. You have to start. You have to. Okay, here's something. Have you ever played an instrument?
Well, I play the guitar and I can play the I can play a little bit of piano, but not much.
Okay, so you can pick a couple of chords.
Yeah.
Okay, so take your telephone number, take the notes and take the numbers of the phone number and put them onto your melody. So take your phone number, and do you know your note names? On the piano?
C, D,
E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That keeps going and going. Apply those to numbers, and then take your telephone number and write it into a melody.
All right.
I know it sounds kind of crazy, right? But there's these ideas. You could be writing music every day and still get a writer's block. and you're like, I have no idea what to write. So that's an example of being able to find a melody. But it's a start. You might go, oh, I don't like it, but you might like it too. It's hard to say. And then you can do variations on it, throw a chord in there, try and keep, because you've done some music, you could keep your chord progression in there. Do 3 chords, leave it at that. And maybe a 4th one. Just write something around it. And you might have just a portion of your song, and then you go, oh, okay, set it down for a bit, come back to it, and maybe put something else in there. And you'll find that over time you'll start to develop something, because sometimes it's not immediate. And I bet you anything, if you do what I said, you're going to have your song.
Right. Okay.
And then
I will try it.
Yeah. You gotta look at your phone number and remember me now.
Yeah.
Those are some ideas, and I'd love to hear it when you're done.
Right,
Songwriting is, you don't even have to have any musical background to write a song. There are people that don't read notes. They begin, right? You just start. You've got your lyrics already. Take a C, put it in an F, go back to a C, go back to a G if you want. And then just start singing on top of it. Hum anything. Sit there humming anything, and all of a sudden something will click. You'll start moving around on some of what will start turning into a melody, and it'll start appealing to you. And you might have to go over it and over it and come back around, and you're actually going to start to build a song, and that's songwriting. Others will do different things. I mean, I write music in very different forms. I'll go with a concept from a title. I'll go with a feel. I'll go put a pattern of rhythm down with some changes. Maybe just the melody is straight there, or I'll just drop my hands on the keys and go to the next chord. And I'll just not even pick anything, just let them go. And whatever I'm feeling in that, I'll go with it, and I'll let it lead me, right? Because sometimes you're just looking for a feeling. And the next thing you know, you're inspired by that to throw a melody in. So, you can move around. As long as you keep moving around, you might find that you get better at finding what works for you. But if you just stick to one thing, it won't work either, because sometimes part of why you're going to grow as a writer is to try things you've never done before. And I bet you anything, Steve, you're going to have your song very quickly, especially since you've already got the words. What's it about? Is it a personal story? Is it?
It's about it's a personal story. I'll tell you what I'll do is I will send you the words over.
You'll what? I'm sorry, lost you.
When I come up here, I will send you the words over, and you can have a look.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. And then you know what? When you're done, you can put it on your show, or put it on your site. You can release it. Yeah, we're in an indie world now. You can release stuff. It's kind of designed now that the more that you release it, the better chance you have for exposure, based on how these platforms are opening up to everyone for a period of time your song. So it's really a single song market now. Yeah. So if you release it and then you release another one and you keep doing it in a pattern of time, places like Spotify will open it up for a period of time where everybody gets to see it as a new release. And then you get these chances of getting higher numbers. It's hard to say. There's a certain amount of algorithm stuff in there, Yeah,
I've got all my shows on Spotify and other outlets now. So,
what's the name of one of your songs?
Save Me Lord.
Beautiful.
Then
love the title already.
Yeah. Then Fallen by Grace. So yeah.
And you wrote them?
Yeah.
Wow.
I write poetry quite a bit, and I'll send it over. I'll send it over to you.
Oh, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to hear it, but I'll give you the words. And you can write it for me.
I don't know. I think you should write your music. I think it should come from your heart because it's your experience. And I think you should try to do it, because you might actually write it better than anyone else can, because you're so
Yeah.
close to it. Do you know, it's actually not as hard as you think. What's hard is having the discipline to actually sit and work at it when you'd rather be doing something else. It's funny, music works that way. Practicing works that way, songwriting. You can get into a routine. I've had routines where I literally have sheet music across me. I go to sleep with sheet music across me. I've had that, where I'm just constantly working on stuff, and you get better at it. You get better at working on arrangements. Let's say you put a string arrangement together around your song. As you keep doing that, you get better and better at it. And the key is just to make sure that you're doing it consistently, because we have to learn how we learn. It's weird, right? You have to learn how we learn. And because you play guitar and piano already, you'll have it. And it'll probably be quite beautiful too. Yeah, I'm interested to see where that goes.
Yeah, okay, definitely. Definitely. Can you play us the last song before we go, please?
Yes. Would you like me to sing one or play?
Whatever you want to do.
Okay. I'm going to bring Frank down. Frank, would you mind holding the phone one more time? Okay, he'll be right down.
Oh, you got to ask him to
Yeah,
come
they're
back down
going to have me do one more. Yeah, well, because I didn't put the tripod up, and I don't want to risk cutting my phone off by putting it on me myself.
Does he mind?
No, not at all. You know, I'm actually changing now. I have 3 different webcams, so I'm going to be going through OBS very shortly here. It'll be easy just to move around. Okay, here's the phone. I'll sing an original. There you are. Thank you. I actually have to look at my lyrics. Speaking of songwriting, you can find that you will write something, and as much as you like to say that it's memorized, there's somebody rewrites it.
This is okay, this thing.
Go down just a little bit. Just a little more. You got it. You know. Okay, so this is. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, so this is called We Belong.
Okay.
It's on my Magic's Mystery album, which is under my name's Angela Johnson, but my stage name is Angelica, and that's where I am. Too many Angela Johnsons out there. When love is real, it's all feel straight from the heart. To have someone give everything and never part. Won't let you go and will go on to happily. Thank God above and let you know you're everything. Our love is true. What could I do? I've long lost all I always knew, and here you are, and we belong. We are one, we are strong. We have it all and more. All the pieces and fits so perfectly. I know it's just you and me, because we believe. And I can see so tenderly you in my heart. Our love is free, because I believe how great you are. And there'll be times I realize when I'm gone, I'll make things right and hold you tight, 'cause we belong. Love is true. What could I do? I promise I'll always be, and here you are, and we belong. We are one, we are strong. We have it all and more. All the
need. 'Cause we believe this love will keep on our family. You feel this deep inside, oh so carelessly, 'cause we belong. We are one, we are strong. We have it all and more, all the pieces that so perfectly. It's just you and me, because we believe we belong. We are one, we are strong. We have it all and more, all the pieces that fit so perfectly. It's just you and me, because we believe.
Beautiful.
Thank you
Beautiful.
very much.
Thank you very,
Thank you.
thank you very much for that. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm going to put my earbuds back on so I can hear you. 1 second. Thank you, Frank. Okay, that's better.
Yeah, thank you, Frank.
He's just left the room.
All
He's in his office now. I don't know how that's translating using the cell phone right now, but I hope that everything was easy to hear.
It was. Angela,
Okay.
thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome,
And,
and thank you.
Thank you for time.
You're welcome. It was wonderful. I really enjoyed this.
Thank you. And we'll get you back some other time. I hope you don't mind.
No, I don't mind. I enjoy it actually, and I like the conversations that we went into as well.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for your time, and God bless you. Bye-bye.
God bless you too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
That was Angela Johnson. I'm going to be back in about 2 minutes with Nino. Watch out.